Test your mic. Immortal Timbat. Hello everyone, welcome back to my how-tos, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the leg press on the Bowflex. First, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get in some stretching. Then we're going to go ahead and move into the setup. After the setup, we're going to get the muscle groups in that this works, and then we're moving on to our final and last thing, which is the injuries that can occur if you continue doing improper form. Alright, let's get stretching. Alright, so we're on to our stretches. I'm going to go ahead and stretch my calves out first. Just going to want to put them on anything that's an incline. Just let them sit there for a couple seconds. Maximum probably 10 seconds. And then before my 10 seconds is up, I personally like to alternate them up and down a little bit. There we go. Alright, moving on to our second stretch here. It's going to be foot onto there. Grab the foot, lean down a little bit, and forward. For about 10 seconds. Switch over. Last stretch. This is called a double Erdler stretch. It's going to stretch out your hips and your groin. Hold that for about 15 seconds. Alright, that's been the stretches. Let's go ahead and move on to our setup. Alright, we're on to our setup here, you guys. You're definitely going to need this belt that Bowflex gave you to wrap around you for leg presses. And this, by the way, this came with this machine. So, to be honest with you, I don't know how to get this belt. So, if you want it, you might have to call Bowflex. Here are the first step. Right now I have it set up like this, nice and flat, straight up. I'm just going to go ahead and untie this real quick. Pull this down. Next step, I'm going to take your seat off like this. I'm going to set my seat off to the side here. Okay. Next step, the pin down here, it can lock into place, so that way it can roll around like this. So just to get a closer look at it, that's in like that, and that's holding it. Okay, just so you guys can see it. And roll that back on there. So nice and rolling. Make sure that's on there. Next is your belt. You're going to want to get these straps as even as you possibly can before you put it on your machine here. Go ahead and take these off. Let's see here. And then hook side. Put it on there, just like that. Alright, next step. Make sure that this belt is on top of the seat because it might get caught underneath the seat or around it oddly before you put your weight on. And then the weight goes on. Alright. So there. On the other side. Alright, so next, how do you get inside of this? Alright, so for me, because I'm kind of a bigger guy, I kind of have to go like this on top. Put my feet behind right there. Put this on my back. And then press back. So now I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go to the black middle area for your legs. I'm just going to put my feet there. Alright, there we go. So now first is proper breathing. So when I come forward, I'm going to breathe in. When I push out, I'm going to breathe out. One more time. Alright, so in proper form, I'm going to show you a couple improper ways that I've seen people do this in the past. And they're pretty awful. So the first one I've seen is where people they come out with their like this, and they hyperextend their knees like that. That's not good. Some people they try to like get 1 foot too close and 1 foot too far away like that. So like 1 foot will be over here and then 1 foot will be closer to the center part. That's no good. That's really hard on your knees. And then the last one that I've seen people try to do something like this where they like sit up like that, and that's wrong. So now for the proper way to do it, when you go forward, you want your knees to touch your butt a little bit and then press out like that. Don't hyperextend your legs, keep them a little bit bent, and then back. One more time. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and fast forward. Alright, so now to get out of this, I personally gotta come back to the position that I was at, and then I drop my belt behind the seat, so that way the seat doesn't move around too much, and then I get off, just like that. Alright, now we're moving on to our muscle groups. Alright everyone, we are on to our muscle groups now. Alright, so for leg presses, this is going to work the quadriceps, hamstrings, your buttocks, and also a little bit of your calves as well. Alright, that has been my explanation for the muscle groups that this exercise works. Let's go ahead and move on to our injuries. Alright everyone, we're on to our injuries. The first one we got here is an Achilles tendon tear, and that's going to be down here in this area. You can get it on both sides. That's going to also affect you in your skeletal system. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to hurt your skeletal system. You're definitely going to feel some discomfort in those areas there. It could also affect you a little bit above here in your shin area, and even a little bit in your feet as well. We'll go ahead and switch over to our skeletal system. Alright, we're over here to the skeletal system for Achilles tendon tear. Like I said, and I'll still mention, you're not necessarily hurt in your skeletal system, but you will definitely feel a lot of discomfort in these highlighted areas. Down here in the feet, down up here in the bottom lower of the shin. That has been my first injury. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, we're on to our next injury. This is called compartment syndrome. This is more in the skeletal system, but we're going to start on our muscular system anyway. That's fine. You can get it in both of your knees and in both of your heels. For each one of those, it can affect other certain areas, going up your leg a little bit this way and going down your leg a little bit that way into your shin. And then the same thing down here could affect your shin a little bit from the bottom part, and then your feet just a little bit as well from the bottom. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to the skeletal system, since that is affected more than your actual muscular system. Alright, compartment syndrome. This has to do more with the skeletal system. Like I said before, when I started over on the muscular system, over there in those highlighted areas, they're more discomfort areas than anything else. But these are the areas that I'm highlighting right now that you will feel more in your skeletal system. The recovery time for this is about 5 to 6 months, depending upon what the doctor says as well. And that has been the second injury for this one. On to our last injury. Alright, you guys, calf strain. That's going to be obviously over here in your calves. Either or, you can get it on the top or even in the bottom. Doesn't really matter. The other areas that it can affect you in the back area right here, right there, and the way back of your leg, and then also a little bit in your heels, and even a tiny bit in the side of your feet as well. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move to the skeletal system for this one. Even though the skeletal system is not hurt from this, you will still feel discomfort in that. On to our last one, calf strain for the skeletal side. Just to make sure everybody knows that I'm not necessarily saying that your bones are hurt in this. You're just going to feel discomfort in these areas that I'm highlighting. Down the back of your leg, down the back of your skeletal system for your back of your calf area, and then also your heels and a little bit of the side of the feet as well. You'll probably feel some discomfort in all those areas. The recovery time for this is about 6 to 12 weeks, depending upon how bad the strain is. Once again, it's just what your doctor says and how bad the strain is, so you're just going to have to deal with that and understand with that. And always remember that with every single exercise, if you do it wrong, it's either going to break, rip, tear, and you could even have permanent damage where you'll never be able to get back to normal. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching my how-to. Hopefully you liked it as much as I liked making it for you. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions or anything else you guys would like us to add to the channel, please comment that below in the comment sections. And as always, grab life by the horns and unleash your inner bull.